In this video, I'm going to talk about triggers, what they are, how they work, and how the person looking to quit porn should handle them. This is part of a series on problem solving. If you're interested in more on that, follow the end cards or look for the link to the playlist in the description below. What are triggers? Triggers are simply any initiator, prompt, or cue, whether internally or externally, that begins the process of executing a routine. Examples might be you feel hungry or you see a billboard of a chocolate cake. In fact, if you began to salivate at the words chocolate cake, the words themselves were a trigger for you and began a routine to salivate, find a snack, and eat it. But don't do that now. You're watching this video. All right, so how do triggers work? Triggers are extremely helpful in our life as they help our brain figure out what to do next with the least energy possible. When you are exposed to new situations, your brain uses tons of energy to figure out how best to handle it. When you experience the same situation over and over again, your brain continues to refine that routine, using less and less energy each time, arriving at the point where a solid habit is formed, and the situation becomes the trigger to your brain saying, "Oh, just do this and don't ask questions." Your alarm goes off. You get up, shower, eat, grab a coffee, and are out the door in 30 minutes or less. The alarm is the trigger to your morning routine, and your brain is amazing at making these associations with little or any conscious thought. Even when you pick up a cookie, your brain automatically releases insulin into your body because historically it already knows that you plan to eat it. Then when you take a bite, it releases more because it knows that you'll likely finish that cookie. Your brain does this automatically, just like breathing. The challenge comes when triggers begin routines that no longer serve the person you want to become. You see an image or a young lady walks by. You have a sensual dream or some rogue thought comes into your head. And your brain is like, great, next stop, Masturbation City, pour on the dopamine, let's get this routine started. Would you take a second to subscribe and like this video? So what do? There are 3 things regarding triggers that are critically important for you to master when quitting porn, or any addictive thing for that matter. Number 1, develop an awareness of your triggers. In many cases, this is simply paying attention, while others take some time to figure out, and still others may require the help of someone else. You will be amazed at how many you can figure out simply by asking yourself one question the moment you realize that you're moving towards acting out. What started this? Do you remember what you were doing, thinking, or feeling? What was happening the moments before? I tell guys who finally want to get serious about quitting porn to ask themselves 2 questions. What am I doing and where am I going? And they should ask this every time they get up and every time they change what they're doing. In the context of trigger, this helps identify the routines at the start, which is usually very close to when the trigger occurred. Give it a try and let me know what your experience is. Number 2, become a student of your triggers. While number 1 was about identifying what your triggers are, this is about delving deeper into each individual trigger to become an expert on them. Does this trigger happen at a particular time of the day? What time of the day do they occur? Are they all around the same time of the day? When do you have this trigger and where are you? What feelings are you having? And don't dismiss the less obvious scenarios. The number of guys who act out after a great day is very high. And you might think this one's crazy, but what sounds and smells were there? Were you stressed or worried about something? To be honest, the list might be endless, but the goal is to understand them well and use this information in the future to make changes. Consider it a reconnaissance mission. The greater the intel, the greater advantage that you have. Number 3, orchestrate your life to avoid undesirable triggers. In cases where it is within your power to do so, take steps to avoid scenarios that lead you to watching porn. If every time you go to the beach, you spend all your day ogling women and then come home and watch porn, would it make sense to decide to stop going to the beach for a time so that you could gain some self-control? Or maybe just avoid it for good? The simplest way I can say it is this. If you're an alcoholic, you should not drive by liquor stores. And if you're looking to make permanent changes in your life, mastering this is key. Let's face it, there will always be triggers that you simply can't avoid, or ones that you just realize too late. Being left alone, having a bad day, taking a shower, or suffering a breakup. These are things that just happen in the course of life. So it is important to know what to do once a trigger starts a routine. And I'll discuss this in the next video. Jay here on Shackle Road, where I discuss tips, tactics, and routines to help Christian men break free from watching porn for good and to live lives of freedom. Check out this video next, and thank you for watching.